I think I wanted to live in Berlin almost as soon as I discovered what was below the surface. As soon as I started to meet the people here who were engaging in their own projects, and that's kind of the thing that I want to do too, and it seemed like a great place to do it.
Oliver Miller was born in 1972 in San Francisco, the youngest of two brothers. 7 years later, the family moved to New Mexico. Oliver studied architecture and was active in the arts. Eventually, he and other American artists were invited to participate in an exhibition in Potsdam, just outside Berlin. After finishing his studies in 2000, he moved to Berlin, at first on a temporary visa and with no real plans. Then he got the idea to open a bar. It was such a success that he branched out a few years later and opened a restaurant, the Nalu Diner. It's modelled on the classic diner where breakfast is served at any time of the day.
The inspiration for the restaurant actually came from going out to clubs, and the desire to have this kind of food late at night. It's a very common thing in America to have a diner breakfast in a 24-hour diner at 4 or 5 in the morning with bottomless cups of coffee.
An American breakfast means first and foremost lots of combinations. Patrons at the Nalu Diner can pick and choose from a variety of options. The menu is centered around eggs, for instance on toast or with hash browns. Around 50 combinations are possible. Aside from breakfast, the diner fries up classic hamburgers.
I love especially the idea of having unlimited amount of coffee that you can get all the time. That's great, and plus the hospitality that the place, the waiters are showing to you, and the friendliness is really great.
I lived in the USA for a year. This is really quite authentic. It's very close to an American diner.
The food is fantastic, very American, but it's not too filling. You get hooked on it and you keep coming back. What mainly sets the American breakfast apart from a European continental breakfast are the many cooked components. But most of them can be fixed relatively quickly and easily. Americans call it short order cooking. Pancakes are a breakfast standard. To make them nice and thick, the American way, the batter has to be right. When the pancakes start getting little bubbles in the pan, they're ready to be flipped. The Nalu Diner also serves their own spiced breakfast sausage patties. A Denver omelette is fried with bell pepper and chunks of ham. And of course, eggs are an essential part of any American breakfast. All the entrees are served on one single plate, the sweet and the savory together.
When one orders breakfast in an American diner, the question of how you want your eggs is an open one. There is no standard. In America, you have scrambled eggs or fried eggs or poached eggs. It's really your choice. The server will always ask, how do you want your eggs? And I love hearing this question because it really means it's going to be an American breakfast when you can decide how it is you exactly want your eggs.
Oliver Miller sees his restaurant as a project that keeps evolving. The pictures on the walls were made by himself or artist friends, and he keeps changing them for new ones. The decorations are a hodgepodge of personal objects and mementos. Miller opened his restaurant in 2012 in Berlin's eastern district of Prenzlauer Berg. He lives close by and enjoys the neighborhood's diversity. Plus, his guests come from all over the world. That suits the Nalu Diner.
The name Nalu Diner came from a conversation with one of my old partners who grew up in Hawaii. And actually, I've never been to Hawaii, but the name is Hawaiian. It actually means surf, but not surf in terms of surfing, but surf is like a noun. It's the top of the wave as it's breaking. And yeah, we just thought, okay, that's a good name for the place.
At least twice a year, Oliver Miller gets homesick and flies back to the United States. Sometimes he even considers moving back entirely. Someday, maybe.
Hi, we've made a Denver omelet, buttermilk pancakes, and homemade sausage patty. Enjoy.